This is my review of the new, to me, 2007 Highway One Stratocaster. I got this Stratocaster last night. It's got a good setup on it. I've been looking at the Highway One for a while, and I'm going to just give my personal take on this instrument that's been out of production for over 10 years. Okay, this is that Highway One. I got it. Used, of course. I got it at what I consider to be a good price. It's a 2007. I looked at the serial numbers and confirmed it's a 2007. You can see that it's in good condition. In fact, I don't think it's ever been played. A couple things I'd like to point out that maybe want a Highway One, and you might think this is superficial, but number one is that Satin Nitro finish. I don't know. Call me superficial. I wanted a Satin Nitro finish, and I wanted an Eric Clapton Brownie. You know, the Eric Clapton Brownie guitar that he played, Layla, After Midnight, Let It Rain, all those good early 70s classic Clapton, was a Sunburst Strat, two-color Sunburst Strat, and of course that would have had a Satin Nitro finish. So that's the Brownie, and I'm superficial enough that I wanted one. I got it in my head. I wanted a two-color Sunburst. The other thing I like about it, if you'll look up here, is the big 1970s Fender headstock. I mean, that. Now, I keep reading on the internet, people don't like that 70s headstock. They prefer the more, you know, the smaller headstock you normally see on the Strats. This is the kind of CBS era 70s headstock. Now, if you don't like this headstock, and there are many of you, I'm sorry, you're just scientifically, objectively wrong. That headstock screams Jimi Hendrix, Richie Blackmore, Robin Trower. I mean, come on. No, it's pretty cool. So the guitar has a kind of mojo vibe that I just had I was looking around for one and I found it. Now, having played it a while, I do have some, other than sort of the cosmetic things, I do have some comments about the guitar itself. Okay, I got this guitar for $750 used. I consider that a pretty good price. You know, since the COVID, people have been buying up guitars, and they were all over the place for that price 2 months ago. Now all of a sudden you can't find any Highway Ones, and they're usually around $1,000. And some of the ones that are selling on eBay, I don't know, what they're asking $1,200, $1,300 for them. So I consider $750 a good price, and I don't think you'll be able to get one in the future for $750. Let me show you the back. It's got the Super Bullet sticker still on it. couple things that stand out to me on the Fender Highway One. One, it has these big jumbo frets. They're huge. See those? They're huge. And it's got a very wide neck. You'd have to check on the measurements, but it's a little wider. You know, you'll notice it when you play. If you're used to, I have an American Professional Strat that's just a better guitar. The American Professional Strat, I played this Highway One for quite a while last night and tonight. And, you know, just in terms of playing and everything about it, the American Professional is quite a bit better. Not even a little bit better. I would say quite a bit better. But even the width of the neck it's cool for some things. Other things it will bother you. Maybe you can get used to it. I was still kind of getting used to it, and I played it for a couple hours. But those jumbo frets, a lot of people like them. Some people don't. I can see why they're kind of acquired taste, frankly. But they are pretty cool. The thing about the jumbo frets is you can really dig in and bend strings, and I noticed it more on the like bending strings on some of these lower strings, like right around this part of the guitar. When you bend strings, it just feels like you can really bend the heck out of them. And that's kind of nice. I will say, this is a US-made guitar. I will say I don't think the construction is as good as some of the ones they've been making lately. Now, you know, the Highway One was discontinued in 2010, and I think they still were selling off their inventory in 2011, but I don't think they made one after 2010. It was an American guitar. You'll hear quite a bit of mythology about how it was made in Mexico, parts from America, or the parts were made in America and assembled in Mexico. But as you can see here with the stickers that are still on there, it says made in the USA, and that seems to be the take on the Highway One. By the way, if anybody has any thoughts about those stickers, email me. I've heard different things. The Highway One was discontinued, and then it became the American Special, which then became the American Performer. So it occupies the same place in the Fender USA lineup as what is currently the American Performer. I think each of those iterations, the Highway One, and there were two Highway Ones. The first had acrylic lacquer and didn't have that big 70s headstock. The second one had this, which is what I have, the Nitro finish and that big 70s headstock. I think they tweaked some other things. Then the American Special probably was a better guitar, but it had gloss polyurethane, I think, finish. And then I think the American Performer, each one, they kind of tweaked some things. So I'm pretty sure those newer ones, at least in a lot of ways, are better. But a lot of people like the Highway One. I think it has that kind of mystique to it. There's something about it. The one thing I will say is I think you can tell the parts aren't as good. I have an American Professional Strat and two American Professional Telecasters, and the parts are better. The other thing, I'm not a guitar tech, but I'm pretty sure that bridge is a little off because it has a little bit of slippage on one of the strings, particularly the high E string. And I read that that's an issue. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's even that, you know, computers are better now. I don't know, this was 2006. It doesn't seem that long ago. Or you know, like a lot of guitars that aren't quite as expensive, more get away. But I've actually read on the internet the reviews. A lot of people love theirs, but I saw quite a few that complained about the bridge being a little off. And this one, I think this one, the mid-bridge or the nut, one of the two might be a little bit off because one of the strings slips out sometimes. And I'm going to try to have it fixed. But if it's a bridge issue, you probably wouldn't notice it if you were, but I bend a lot of strings and play up and down the neck quite a bit, and I noticed it. If it's a bridge issue, I think I'm going to just leave it because I don't want to change the bridge. And I was playing it, and it was fine. But like I said, I think it's a nice guitar for the money. If I'd paid more, I might be more upset about it. I think it's a bridge issue or the nut, but I think it might be a bridge issue. And I read on the internet that other people have said their bridge was a little off center, so the strings didn't quite line up perfect with the nut. But this guitar, that is a bummer. I mean, if it's a bridge issue, I'm going to have it. I'll tell you what I love is that satin finish. Call me superficial. That's really what, and the Eric Clapton Brownie. But I really wanted a guitar with the satin finish, and the American Original currently has a gloss nitro finish, and this is satin nitro. And the Fender rep in the old promo for this when it first came out back in 2006, you can see their blurb on YouTube, called it a thin nitro. So that's my review of the Fender Highway One. I paid $750 for it. My one concern is with the bridge. I'm going to show you in a second how it frets out. Other than that, for the price, I think it's a good guitar. And if you can buy one, I would buy one. I think their prices are going up. And it's turning into kind of a vintage guitar, I think. That's one reason I kind of wanted it. That said, I think it's like, you know, I guess this would be considered an older guitar now. I don't know if technology for cutting necks and things has changed much since 2006. But I maybe just because it wasn't an really expensive guitar to begin with, I would play it. Because anytime, you know, you can really get like, I guess they say about some of the Mexican guitars, don't they? There's some great ones out there that are almost on a par with American ones. One of the big differences is there's less consistency. And I've read that about the Highway One. And I think this, maybe I see that a little bit. I'll tell you, my American Professional Strat is just a superb musical instrument. I don't know how a guitar could be much better. So that'll spoil you. When that has no issues whatsoever. It plays perfect up and down the neck. It's got a great setup. This one, you know, I think it, like I said, the bridge and the nut don't line up dead on. I don't think. But I'm not But I played it, and it was pretty good overall.